It's not the same place without you. Neighbor.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. As Columbia University President Shafiq testified before Congress about accusations of anti-Semitism at the school, Democracy Now! Spoke to Columbia and Barnard College students yesterday who set up a Gaza solidarity encampment early Wednesday morning, with dozens of tents occupying the south lawn of the campus outside the main library. As we broadcast, students have been threatened with suspension and discipline action, but are still refusing to leave until their demands are met. They spoke about what they're calling for.
Down with occupation. Down with occupation. Up with liberation.
My name is Mariam Alwan, and I'm with Columbia SJP, Students for Justice in Palestine, and we are here today to demand that Columbia divest immediately from all states in Israeli apartheid. Over 33,000 Palestinians have been killed, and as we speak, our president is testifying in front of the House in a game of political theater that is conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. We want to focus the attention on what's going on in Gaza and tell Columbia that we are not going anywhere. No matter how much government suppression we face, we will keep fighting until they divest. They have been completely repressive. I mean, we've faced police brutality. We have faced countless policy changes. I mean, my group, along with Jewish Voice for Peace, was suspended in the fall semester completely illegitimately. I filed a lawsuit to counter that action. And it seems like the repression is only getting worse and worse and worse. But the more they repress us, the more we rise up. And that's why we've escalated. That's also why we've escalated here today. Not only are they not listening to us when we peacefully protest, when we attempt to just pass referendums for student voices to even be heard. They don't even want to listen to the students. They don't want to know what the students think. And so we're here to tell them that we will take up space and presence on this campus, and they're not going to be able to erase our support for Palestine. Since October, the very first protest that we've had, the university has begun closing the gates. Columbia actually normally in recent history did not close its gates to the public. However, the minute we started having protests for Palestine, they began calling the police department in full force onto our campus without consulting the university senate, bypassing its own procedures and policies to do so. At this point, no action that the university could take would surprise me. They have completely violated all mechanisms of shared governance and their own policies and procedures, and they don't care. We're apprehensive, but we know that anything that Columbia or our government or the police try to do to us is nothing compared to what is going on in Gaza right now, the starvation that they are facing, and our money is funding this. We are not neutral. Our institution is not neutral, and our country is not neutral, and that is why we are here today.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If doesn't get.
Speaking of not neutral, I want to say it was today. Let's go to it. Congress passed funding for Ukraine, of all places. Like, I saw a report that said the Ukraine war is about to be over. I missed this comment right here, 1027. It says, "Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion." Anyways, yeah. So they approved money for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. And before you say all these stuff were tied together, they had standalone bills for all of this stuff too. The Ukraine funding was held up for months, and finally they was able to get it in there, and it was overwhelmingly approved. Let's go to this. I have this somewhere. Oh, you want to say that we're not complicit? We're complicit. We also, I'm going to cover this more too, because I've got to talk about it, but the Iran situation in Israel, and, Iran retaliated against Israel because Israel they blew up a consulate building in Iran, and Iran retaliated and sent a bunch of drones and a few missiles, and the Iron Dome alone wasn't able to stop it. So, but hardly anything made it through. There was barely any. I think one person died, and it was barely any damage. There was some damage to a military airport, I want to say. That's where some of the ones made it through. But if it wasn't for the United States and the UK shooting down a lot of those drones, the Iron Dome wouldn't have been as successful, you know. So the United States directly protected Israel. So you want to say that the United States is not complicit, and I would say you're Looney Tunes for thinking that way. Directly complicit. You are directly complicit if you are a United States citizen and you pay taxes, because they're using your money to do this.